Everybody, my name is Leo, and if you follow my channel, you know that in my last two videos about the Ampero Stomp II, I've received a lot of questions about the signal chain management of the Ampero Stomp II. I mean, how many FX blocks you can load, can you load double effects, can you have parallel signal chains, and so on and so forth. So in this video, we're gonna check out all the possibility offered by the Ampero Stomp II. Let's start. Okay, here we are with an empty signal chain. As you can see, you have the input blocks and the output blocks, and here you can select in the input block the source of the signal, which could be the input, in this case my guitar, or can be a signal provided via USB. And this is very useful, for instance, when you want to reamp something you have already recorded in your digital audio workstation. Then here we have the signal chain with all the blocks that are available for effects. Now, the first thing to notice is that you have many different types of signal chains. Pressing this box here, you can select the one that is fine for you. For instance, you can have parallel signal chains, meaning that you have two parallel chains, and you can use, for instance, the first input for an electric guitar and the second one for an acoustic guitar or for a bass guitar. Or you may have a split mixer, meaning that the input is split in two chains that then are mixed at the end. Or you can even place effects before the split or before the end. Then you have AB, meaning that you have two independent signal chains that then are mixed at the end, or the other way around. So you have one input that is split in two signal chains, and this is actually what I've used in my demo song. So let's look at my demo song. As you may notice, here I have the guitar that goes through a tube screamer, a Vibrolux, an IR of a Blue Alnico, a chorus, a large plate, and then is split in two, and I have the same delay loaded with different times, and the first one goes on the left side and the second one goes on the right side. But let's go back to the test and let's try to build together the signal chain. First of all, let's use a simple serial signal chain, and here, for instance, the first question I've received is how many blocks of the same effects I can put. Well, the limit is the DSP power. For instance, I can have here one tube screamer, and then I can put another tube screamer, and then let's say an amp, a cab, and then I can put, for instance, here a delay, and then the same delay, and then if I want another delay of the same type, as you can notice. And then you can change the order simply dragging and dropping. Very cool and very easy. Now, you have to take into consideration that there is a limit to the number of effects you can put in the signal chain. So, for instance, here you can have maximum 6 blocks in the upper row and maximum 6 blocks in the lower row. So you have to arrange the effect taking into consideration this limit, this first limit. And the other limit obviously is the DSP power. For instance, this signal chain is reaching almost the limit of the DSP power. In fact, if you notice here, I cannot select whatever I want because I've reached the limit of the DSP power. And here I can insert, for instance, just a preamp. And when I inserted a preamp, I cannot basically add anything more. And if you look at the delay, also the delay are gonna be limited with the one you can load according to the DSP power. Now we have to take into consideration that the Stomp II is in its infancy, and so I think that the algorithms have not been already optimized. So with the next firmware upgrades and with the algorithms optimization, I think that we can have even more possibility. I mean, we can add even more effects in the signal chain once they are all optimized. Let's go back to my signal chain, and I want to show you one thing that is different from the old Ampero. Here I'm using a Celestion IR, which is not available in the old Ampero. I can use my IRs, or I can use the, I would say, stock cabs. For instance, here I have the stock cabs, and with the stock cabs you have the possibility to select a specific microphone or combinations of two microphones. Let's for instance use this one where we have a Royer 121 and an SM57, and then you can choose among 6 positions of the mics. For instance, here cap edge or cone. So as you may notice, all the caps, in my opinion, in this new Ampero 2 are sounding pretty well, and you have a wide selections of stock cabs, I would say, and IRs. And the Celestion ones are pretty nice. Okay, then for instance you can split the signal wherever you want. For instance, here I'm putting the reverb only before the delay in the left channel, or I can put the split of the signal after the reverb, and this is gonna change the sound. Also, the output are very powerful because, for instance, here with this specific signal chain, the first blocks are common for both the A and B output, and then the delay 1 and the delay 2 are sent respectively to the left side and the other one to the right side. And I'm doing this just using this option here. So as you can notice, all left, and here it is all right. Now, coming back to the signal chain I've used in my demo song, I have a green overdrive with gain to 30, tone to 40 and volume to 30, and this just add a tiny bit of gain of spark to the tone. Then I've used a Fender Vibrolux amp with a volume to 70, so it's a little bit pushed. As we were seeing previously, I've used a Blue Alnico Celestion IR for the cab, a 3D chorus, and then the delay pump-potted all left and all right, and with different times, as you can notice. 584 for the first one and 239 for the second one. So, as you can see, in conclusion, the signal chain is very easy to use with the drag and drop function. There are some limitations that are the DSP power that is limiting obviously the number of blocks you can use simultaneously, but I think that this could improve with future firmware upgrades and optimization of the software. Then you have always to think that you have an upper row and a lower row, and you can put 6 blocks in the upper row and 6 blocks in the lower row. I have to say that the app is nice and it's really fun to build signal chains in this way. Now we have reached the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed, and if you did it, please subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell and leave a thumbs up. It would be of a great help. If you're interested in my IRs, you can check out the link in the card above or description below, where there is also a link to a playlist of songs of mine. Thank you for watching, see you in the next video. Bye!